welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I hold card readings twice a week on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to host a reading for just the weekly energies. This would be from October 26th to November 2nd. And what I'll do is you will have a choice of 3 different decks of tarot cards. From your deck I will pull a 3-card reading to describe your week. And then to clarify your reading, I'm going to pull 1 oracle card from 2 different decks. And then as promised, for every reading in October, I've been finishing off the weekly energies reading with self-care cards. And what these are just cards that give some ideas of different activities on how to just take care of yourself. So these are optional activities to just kind of make your week a little bit more relaxing, and it's just some guidance to help care for yourself as you go through the week. Today is a special day because it is the Saturday before Halloween. I wanted to, post. We are posting your regular weekly energies, but in addition, you can see I still have the Halloween tablecloth out. In addition, you will get a second video today, which is a special personalized video, which is who is haunting you. So if you want to watch your daily readings, your weekly energy, and then if you so choose, you could go over and check out the other video. In the Who's Haunting You video, there is a special kind of giveaway going on with that one. If you do go over to that video, in addition to reading cards, I like to create card bags. Like I create the bags that hold my cards. And so for Halloween, I created a special card bag. Now this one's a little bit more fearsome because it has what looks like a tarot card pattern in black and white and orange. I sew with a sewing machine, so everything's very well made, and it has an orange lining and it has black ribbons. But if you would like a chance to win this bag, all you have to do is watch or stop by the Who's Haunting You video. And it's a really fun video. You got a choice of 4 ghosties, and you just pick your ghost, and I'll tell you who it is that's on your mind. And then if you decide that you want to go ahead and be considered or entered into the for the drawing for the card bag, if you just leave a comment, it doesn't have to be real long. You can just do a thumbs up emoji or say, please enter me for the bag. And what I'll do is within a day or so, I will pull a name and I'll contact you to get your mailing address, and I'll send the bag to you. So that's some extra fun Halloween stuff going on. But so to get into our reading, and we'll go ahead and get started, but we have 3 decks. This is the Everyday Tarot by Brigit Esselmont. She also goes by Biddy Tarot. We have the White Sage Tarot by Theresa Hutch, and then we have the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa Decort. And then to clarify, I have the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. We have advice from your angel, your angel guidance cards from Doreen Virtue, and then the self-care cards are by DejaDrewit. And all of the authors and the names of the decks are in the description box below. And I do have a stone for each deck. And let me go ahead and I'll pause the video and let you choose your deck, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first deck, which is the Everyday Tarot by Brigit Esselmont. And oh goodness, I'm forgetting the name of the stone. I'll put it on the video, but it's a very, very pretty stone. It's like yellow and cream colored. Ooh, we're kind of getting a... All right, so pile number 1. What are the energies for pile number 1's week? What are the energies for pile number 1's week? What kind of week is pile number 1 going to have? October 26th including Halloween. Halloween's this week. 26th through... Whoa, okay. All right, we've got kind of too many cards. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm making note of I'm making note of the flyers. Okay, I'm making note of your flyers. All right, so pile number 1. Make sure you're in focus. Can you see? You can see. All right. Ooh, oh, pile number 1. Oh. Okay. And then let's go ahead and let's get your spirit animal card. What's the advice? Advice for pile number 1. Pile number 1 in their week. Okay. Excuse me. And pile number 1. Some advice for your week. I think that sums it up, but okay. And one last card. So we're going to get, what can pile number 1 do to take care of themselves from the 26th to the 2nd of November? From the 26th to the 2nd of November, what can pile number 1 do to take care of themselves? Okay, that's kind of sticking out, so I'm going to go with that as your card. That would have been the next one, the next card I would have drawn anyway. All right. Oh, pile number 1. You got a little bit of a week ahead of you, but there are no bad cards. Just to let you know, there are no bad cards. But you began with the beginning of the week is going to be the 5 of Cups. So here we've got the man who is down at the riverbank, and he is looking at 3 spilled cups, and there are 2 upright cups behind him. And then what I really notice about this card that I've never really noticed before is that in the distance there's a bridge. It's almost like a bridge going over the river that takes him over to the castle. And I really get the feeling that the beginning of the week you are going to feel like you are either missing someone or you're kind of mourning something right now. There could be something sad that happened, but you're seeing right now is a little bit, the beginning of the week is going to be a little bit of that veil of gloominess, like I like to call it. You ever have those moods that, even though tough things are happening, there are things to be grateful for. You have good things in your life. This man has upright cups behind him. It's like not all is lost. But I never, a lot of times people will say that the 5 of Cups is kind of the, people will refer to it, it's been referred to as the crying over spilled milk, but I never really look at it that way, because clearly this man is, upset about the loss of something. And I never think, I believe that it's important to take time to grieve. I think that's a very important process. But I think where it cautions you is, don't tie yourself down. Don't make yourself miserable is what it kind of says. Is it doesn't want you to stay in a place that is dark. And it seems like the beginning of the week, your mind is going to be preoccupied with something, and it's most likely some heart-related thing. But I'm really drawn to the bridge in the background, though, because bridges mean, mending a bridge. If this is something emotional, maybe there's a broken bridge with somebody, and maybe you're looking to reestablish that bridge. So that's how the beginning of the week will start. Now the middle of the week is going to be, you're going to feel a little bit trapped. And the 8 of Swords is about feeling powerless, but really having power. And again, I feel like it ties into this as well too. I feel like you have a lot more power than you're giving yourself credit for, but right now things just, again, it's that really cloudy veil. You just feel like you don't feel like you can do anything. You feel like you're, and I like the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's in this deck too, but what it is that in the Rider-Waite-Smith, or the traditional tarot, of the Eight of Swords, the swords are stuck in the ground, almost like a prison bars, but the rope that ties her up is very loose, and even the bandage around her head is kind of loose. And what it means is that if you wanted to wriggle free, if you wanted to kind of break the bonds, take off the blindfold, and just kick over the swords, you know, you're not as trapped as you think you are. And that's an important message for that card. You feel like you're trapped, but you're really not. But right now, I think whatever's happening at the beginning of the week is going to have you kind of mourning over something, you know, feeling like all is lost, even though you do have things remaining. So I think it's going to be important to kind of keep your spirits up by the middle of the week. I'm really curious what your self-care card's going to be, because I think you're going to need to give yourself a little extra self-love. Now, I'll be honest, when the cards that were flipping out, the cards that flipped out with the star in reverse, and so what you got is towards the end of the week, you got the Seven of Swords and you got the star in reverse. And I love the star. The star is always a sign of hope, even when it's in the reverse. But the Seven of Swords, I have a really great reader, one of the first readers I ever watched on YouTube. She always calls him the Sneaky Pete card. And I kind of giggle because that is what the Seven of Swords is normally. I mean, there are some interpretations of it depending on what's around it, but most of the time it's someone getting away with something. And the cards that wanted to come out with the star in the reverse was the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is the three swords piercing a heart, and the Two of Swords is the woman who is stuck holding two swords. So clearly you got one heart card, and then you got two swords cards, and then you got the star in reverse. So I think something is going on, and it's probably romantic. I just feel like someone's, you know, like you feel a little swindled is what it is. I think you feel like either that or you want to get away. You feel disappointed, you feel like you lost something, you feel really trapped by it, and this could be you. This could be you. And again, there are no bad cards in tarot, but it could just mean that you really just want to pick up your swords and go. You want to pick up your swords and go. But the one thing about the Seven of Swords, what makes me think that this is another person, is the fact that you see how there's a castle in the background, and he's kind of looking behind him like he's waiting for, it's almost like there's a pack of guards in the castle that will see him trying to, you know, abscond with all these swords, and they're going to come out and bust him, is what it is. And that's what makes it feel so sneaky, right? And so I do think that you're probably dealing with a little bit of a shady person. There might be someone in your life that's making you feel very, very trapped. Either that, or it could just be that you've had so much of this mental, you're tired of feeling trapped, that it's kind of like, you know, damn the consequences. All right, I'm just going to pick up my thoughts. I'm going to take my swords. I'm going to go. You know, come get me. But I do see that this is not really happy energy, and it's a lot of mental negative. It's like mourning what's lost, feeling like you'll never be that happy again, and then feeling trapped, even though you could wriggle out of the ropes. You have free will. And then you do feel a little bit duped in the fact that I saw that with the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords. I just think those are kind of signs of a little bit of heartbreak. So you might be dealing with someone who's being a sneaky Pete, you know, someone who might have really hurt you with how kind of irresponsible or how self-serving that they're being. Now, the star in the reverse actually really gives me hope. Now, the star in the reverse it's almost like the sun. There's a few cards that are just so powerful that even if they're in the reverse, it just barely dims their effect. They're still, you know, a beacon of hope. And when the star is upright, it means that there's hope in this situation. And it came out in the reverse. And just because it's in the reverse doesn't mean that there's no hope, but it just means that the hope is going to take a little bit longer to get to you. It's going to be a little bit more hard-earned. And that's actually a good thing, because if this guy had come out with anything else, you know, if he had come out with the Ten of Swords, or, you know, he did kind of want to come out, excuse me, with the Three of Swords, which doesn't help his reputation much in this read. But the fact that it's the star in reverse, it's entirely possible that you might be dealing with someone who feels like they have to pick up and go because you're not feeling like you have much hope left about this situation. You kind of feel like it's a done deal. But what you want to remember is the hope that the star is massively powerful, and even if it's in the reverse, all it means is it's delayed. It just means that your wish, that wish upon the star, can't happen instantaneously, you know, and especially with this going on, it looks like it can't fix this in a blink of an eye, but it is coming. It is on the horizon. So I think this is telling you, try to cultivate as much optimism as you can about this situation. You feel really blue right now, but please take care of yourself. And what I loved about your oracle cards, and you see how much purple, I know these cards are purple, but you kind of got the same color purple in your card, and I love this card. This is an odd man out card. What it is this was gifted to me with, I purchased a stone and they sent me one card that happened to be the same size as a deck. So I put it in the deck as an extra card, but it's God is in charge. And this always gives me so much hope. And you see the shiningness, like the ball of light almost looks like the star. The Mother Magdalene or the figure almost looks like the star woman, doesn't she? Her hair and it just, you know, you got hope in this situation. But what it's saying is, you know, and this is more of a Christian card, but, you know, dear God, please help me let go of this situation, giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. So that's what it's telling you. It's telling you that this is a pretty tricky situation, what you're in, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, but there is a way out. There is a way out. It might be slow going, and just have faith. Have faith and try to surrender. I know you're going to want to take action. You're going to feel like you can't take action, but have faith and things will get better. Now your animal oracle card was bring your ideas to life. So I think what it might be telling you, and again, I'm seeing a lot of swords, maybe you can take that mental energy, and I know it's like, you know what they said about worry. Oh, dude with no muffler. Okay. All right, he's not so bad today. You know, I know what they say about worry. It's like, worry is like trying, I spoke too soon, sorry. Okay. For you viewers who are not familiar, there is a guy who likes to drive down the street all the time, and what happens when you have a muffler that's that loud, you have one of two extremes. You either have a car that is so souped up and modified that it's meant to sound that loud, or you have a POS that has no muffler. And at first I thought he was a POS, but I've gotten several eye confirmations that he has a souped up Camaro. So he has some kind of specialty kit that's supposed to make his car sound that way. But I refer to him as dude with no muffler. And he makes an appearance in just about every single show, which is odd because I film at different times during the day. But rant over, you know, he's a regular. But so bring your ideas to life. So what it's telling me is, if you're going to have this much energy, if you're going to have this much mental energy, and I know it's difficult, what was I saying about, worry is like trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubble gum. It's ruminating. And actually, it's proven that rumination, what it is that your brain, it contributes, unfortunately, it contributes a little bit to depression, but you can hardwire it to work in your favor, though. But what it is, you know, as humans, we're intelligent beings, you know what I mean? You can't tell us to not think about something. Goodness knows. You tell me to not think about it, I will think about it 20 times more, right? So what it is that, but the problem is that the moment that you think about a really hurtful situation, you think about, okay, how do I solve this? But the problem is you end up running over what happened, what you did, what was said, what wasn't said, and unfortunately it becomes a very bad circle. It's like a hamster on a wheel. And what happens is it makes you feel trapped. It makes you think, okay, this happened to me, I can't do anything about it. And then it just goes back into that negative cycle, and it makes you more sad, it makes you feel more powerless, and it's rumination. Rumination is it'll make you depressed. It'll make you do the dance with depression. So what it's telling you is bring your ideas to life. Use that energy in a different way. If you're gonna be kind of firing up the neurons in your brain, maybe play those games like, my stepmom always recommends these wonderful playing games. Like I like, there's several, you know, pick one. It can be, you know, if you like doing solitaire on your, if you like doing Tetris, any game that you can kind of put your focus in, put your problem solving, anything that would let you problem solve, whether that be with other people or with yourself. You know, play card games, play Uno with someone. I love that. I'll play Uno with my niece in a minute. But I think that will really help you direct all of this mental energy to a positive, you know, place, just until your star can arrive, right? Because your star's coming. Just kind of surrender. Just kind of surrender and try to get your thoughts in a better place, because things will get better. By the end of the week, you'll feel a little bit lighter. It's still going to feel like a betrayal, but all right. Okay, you got kind of a hot card. So sorry, there's no tingly bits I don't have to pull out. I don't have to emoji you or anything. I have emojis to cover any bits. But you got the sensuality card. And that's actually kind of a fun card. I was actually talking to my sister about that. And what that is that, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything scandalous. Like, we're not telling you, you know, you can take care of yourself in that way. And I'll just leave it there. Just, you know, this is a PG channel, so I won't elaborate. But another way that you can kind of, what it's telling you is make yourself feel sexy. If whatever this situation is making you feel low down and dirty, and if any of this is making you feel like you're not attractive, this is a good way to take care of yourself. And one way to do that is, they always say, I've watched other channels that say this all the time, and it's a credit to them, wear sexy underwear. And it doesn't even have to be anything itchy or, you know, butt floss or, you know, wedgie wear. But wear your favorite cut underwear. Instead of wearing the granny panties, wear the bikini cut, you know? The cute one that makes sure your legs look long, or makes your butt look cute. And the great thing about that, no one sees it, but you feel it. You know it's there. You know you're wearing the cute panties, and either that or the nice bra. And it doesn't even have to be like, again, it doesn't have to be lacy. Just the ones that looks good. Maybe is the soft satin, the new thing. You know, don't wear the Franken bra. You know. And when you feel that under your clothes, and actually, and I'll call her out too. My sister actually even said, sometimes even if you don't want to do fancy underwear, match it to the shirt you're wearing. Like if you're wearing a pink blouse, wear pink underwear. And again, no one sees it, and you can walk around all day long going, you know what, I coordinate, I feel good, you know. And no one else has to see it. That is for your self benefit at all. So, okay, pile number 1, I hope you feel better. And definitely, you know, again, I'm going to leave off on this. Remember, you know, things are going to get better. Just kind of, you know, let it go and take care of you. Do you take care of you? Don't let anybody else make you feel bad. Okay, that's their energy. You know, you keep it classy. You let them. What do they say? You know, how you treat me is your karma. The way how I respond is mine. You know, you keep yours clean, and they can, you know, they'll get caught. You know, don't worry. But okay, pile number 2, you got one of my favorite stones ever. Well, first off, this is one of my favorite decks because all of the characters in here, like the cups, are coffee cups, like latte cups. They're so freaking cute. Let me see if I can find one real quick, and then we'll get started. But and all the pentacles are sand dollars, and all the coffee cups, like the Knight of Cups is bringing you coffee, and it's so freaking adorable. And then in addition, you got the double pearl. This was a stone that I bought at the beach, and it's just so cute. It looks like 2 pearls merged. It's a natural stone. You can see that. Not focusing real well. Sorry. It's the busy pattern. I hope you can see these cards, but I love it. Look at the Page of Cups. He's got a coffee cup. It's so cute. Okay, so pile number 2. Weekly energies. What are your weekly energies, pile number 2? Try not to jostle the microphone because I know that does that booming sound. Pile number 2. So pile number 2's energies for the week. Oh, good gravy. All right, I don't know if you can see it. Triple nines, 999. Okay, I'd be looking for that. You know, I know that won't be like on the clock or anything like that, but you know, I'd look for all 9s. And you got the sun is on the top. But all right, so pile number 2. Let's go ahead and get your oracle. Good, googly. 3 9s. I've never seen that. I haven't had that happen. And you saw me. These are very well shuffled cards. Pile number 2. Is pile number 2 spirit animal for pile number 2 spirit animal for the week. Okay, this is hitting me in the thumb. All right, and let's get your angel guidance. These are really positive cards. So the angel, oh. All right, you kind of got 2. I'm gonna go with that. And your self-care card. All right, that's way too many. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to reshuffle. Pile number 2, what's their self-care activity for October? Okay, so pile number 2, self-care activity. All right, there we go. Okay, pile number 2. All right, so 3 9s. Now, 9 is the number that precedes 10, and it is like you are on the brink of a new cycle. You are on the brink of a new cycle. You got the 9 of Cups, which is emotion. You got the 9 of Swords, which is thought. And then you got the 9 of Wands, which is, we'll get into that in a minute. It's spirit in action, but so in the beginning of the week, and again, I feel like I was about to mention too, in a lot of readings for both you guys and for myself, the Wheel of Fortune has been showing up. And the Wheel of Fortune, oh my goodness, you feel like the world is really a graduation card, but Wheel of Fortune is the wheel turning, and that really means that a cycle is closing. You know, an era is coming, and we are coming up. We're about to go in the 20s, right? We're in the last year. We're in the last year of this decade. It's going to be the 2020s again, and so I really do think as the year wraps up, we're going to start seeing a lot more hints at that. But the 9 of Cups is kind of like is the wish come true card. In the traditional tarot, it's the guy looking really smug and satisfied, sitting in front of a table with 9 cups. In this deck, there are ribbons on these cards that represent the chakras, and what it is 9 is like, again, just like being wish fulfillment, it shows a rainbow, which is all of the chakras from root to the top of the crown chakra. And you see all these cups almost look like it looks like they're cascading, right? It looks like all of the water is flowing from cup to cup to cup. So in the beginning of the week, you're gonna feel very happy. You're just gonna, the beginning of the week is really gonna kind of feel like a dream come true, you know, like, I just think that you're gonna feel very satisfied is what it is. And you ever have those days where you just feel good? You just feel good. You know, there's just, you don't want for anything. Everything just feels like, you know, walking on the sunshine, and the sun nearly came out. And then by the middle of the week, and again, the middle of the week is going to include Halloween. I didn't really elaborate on that in the first pile, but middle of the week is going to cover your Halloween time. And by the middle of the week, you got the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is a little bit, it's depicted as what they call, and don't take this the wrong way, it's depicted a little bit like the Nightmare card. But here it has the root chakra, it has the ribbon that's pink, which is the red. And you see that it's kind of surrounded by swords. So I think by the middle of the week, I really just get this feeling like you're going to feel a little bit surrounded. And I'm getting the feeling like you're going to be surrounded by people who are either have opinions about you or people that are kind of talking. Like I'm getting kind of a bickering vibe, like a pick a little, talk a little vibe. Sorry, I always think of that song from The Music Man, you know, when all the women are kind of being a little bit petty and talking about Mary in Peru. But so the beginning of the week, you're actually going to be I'm almost getting kind of a smug feeling. Maybe something happened really in your favor, you know, some kind of windfall, or maybe you won at something. And by the middle of the week, there might be people who are either jealous of you or just people who are just kind of, you know how people kind of talk out the side of their mouth like, oh, they won. You know, I've been playing that slot machine for 12 months and that guy just walked up and won all the coins and that should be my winning. I'm kind of getting some kind of mental or verbal vibe just because of the way the swords have this, because this sweet little ribbon just looks like a rose, right? It looks like a rose. And the fact that it's root chakra, and root chakra usually, the red in it, and again, these ribbons are chakra based in this deck. I really get the feeling like maybe you have some kind of nest egg, because the other thing is, you know, cups are more emotional abundance, but, you know, red or the root chakra usually means, you know, financial stability or not wanting for anything. Like if you have an afflicted root chakra, then you don't feel secure. And that might be this a little bit. You might be feeling like a little bit of a sense of lack. Either that or you feel like you've gained something and you actually have the right to feel a little bit smug, like, okay, I've earned this. This is mine, you know, I'm happy. But you can't, it's almost like you can't talk too loud about your, you know, if you shout it to the mountaintops, then everyone kind of surrounds you and almost wants to, this almost looks like someone mugging this poor little rose for what they have, right? It's like, okay, you know, you're surrounded, but swords definitely represent mental energy. So this is either negative thoughts, like a fear that someone's going to take this abundance away, or it could be literally, you know, people talking back or just saying, oh, this person doesn't deserve to have this. Read it anyway. I'm really curious if it resonates, which way it resonates for you. If you are so inclined, if you care to comment below, you know, very generally, you don't have to give details, but just say yes or no that is what's happening. I'd be really curious to know. Then towards the end of the week, and as we go into the weekend, you got the Nine of Wands, and that is, you can see it's the same pink ribbon, but the Nine of Wands is typically, so now you got the ribbon wrapped around wands. And the Nine of Wands, if you look at it in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, it's a man who has been through the war. Like he has a bandage around his head, and he's leaning on the stick. He's leaning on that one stick, and you see how this stick is at an angle. It's like all these other sticks are behind it, and it's at an angle. I really think that by the end of the week, you're going to feel a little bit exhausted. You're going to feel a little bit drained. You're going to feel like you started off going, yay, I'm a winner. I got this. And then something about you being happy about it or telling people about it got you really anxious, or either that or had people surrounding you about what you have. Either that or you're afraid you're going to lose what you have. And then by the end of the week, you're going to feel kind of like you've been through the war. You're just going to feel really beat up. Like you're going to be victorious. You're going to defend what's yours. You will keep what's yours, but you're going to be kind of drained by the end of it. You're going to be leaning on that stick like, oh gosh, I can't go through that again, right? But I'm really curious. I'm curious what that is, because it really does look like, but these are all 3 9s. And again, the 9s are the last card before the 10, and that the 10 is everything. The 10 is the culmination. Now, your animal oracle is one of my favorite cards. I love the greens and the reds, but you got Ant Spirit, and it just said time to collaborate. So, it's interesting because it's funny. The 9 of Cups is not really a card about teamwork. You see one guy sitting in front of all of his cups, and he knows all the cups are his, and he's just kind of, robin-breasted, proud, like, look at my cups, these are mine. So it's not really a teamwork card. The 9 of Swords is someone sitting up in bed really worrying about, and then the 9 of Wands is someone defending or having defended, worn out. So I think this is kind of an advice card. I think it's telling you that you don't have to do everything alone, because all 3 of these cards are alone. It's one person kind of against the world. It's you against the world, you poor little rose, right? And I think what it's telling you is that you don't have to be that way. You don't have to be that way. There are people out there who are out for your best interest that would not try to take anything from you. And I love the way that it has little puzzle pieces too, because that just kind of tells me that, you might not exactly know who it is that you need to collaborate with, but if you kind of ask the universe, say, okay, send me a sign, who can I talk to? Who can I collaborate with? And I promise you, I love the way that the universe always sends symbols. It's almost like a flashing neon, pointing sign above the person. And, I get feathers. I get feathers a lot. I have, like, over on my desk, I have 4 different feathers. I feel so protected when I see those, but sometimes that and pennies. If I'm standing next to someone that I'm meant to talk to, and it seems I find a penny at our feet. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll kind of look around your environment and see, okay, who are my allies? Who can I collaborate with? Now, you got 2 of the Guardian Angel cards. And the first is, I think these really, really play into your week. The first is giving and receiving. And I know this one's, the artwork's a little different. You got a kangaroo. But giving and receiving is the entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale or give, or only inhale and receive, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with exhalation. And I love the fact that it talked about operating in cycles, because again, didn't we say 9 is before 10, and that's the closeout of a cycle, that's the culmination of a cycle. And I love the way that, a lot of times, like, chakras is a lot about meditating too, if you meditate or if you practice that. So, you can think about it that way. Giving and receiving is like when you're focusing your breath, when you're meditating. But here, the other thing about the 9 of Cups is when you think about it, he is not really a giving person, and not in a bad way, but he's got all the cups. They're his. It's not like he has to share them with anyone. But what is he going to do with 9 cups? It might also be telling you that, you get into the rhythm with the universe, and I love the fact that both these cards are green too. You get into the rhythm of the universe when you for optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance, give and then receive, and then give and then receive. I think it's telling you that, and you can see the 2 ants being kind of opposite, one's up, one's down. I think it's just telling you to kind of get into that cycle, and then it won't feel so one-sided. It won't feel like, it won't feel like, oh, okay, it's all mine, or oh, okay, it's all theirs, you know. It'll be, okay, it's all ours, you know. And maybe that's what it is with your Nine of Wands towards the end. Now, the last card kind of plays into the Nine of Cups as well, because the other thing about the Nine of Cups is it's a little bit, I'll be blunt, it's a little bit of the drinking card, because honestly, when you look at him, the guy really does have this kind of, not a dopey expression, but he has a pretty happy expression on his face, and he has all these cups that are behind him, so it kind of looks like it's a party, right? Well, here, your card is Cleanse and Detoxify. So your other advice is, with great love and respect, we ask you to detoxify your precious and sensitive body. At your request, we'll help you develop self-affirming ways to deal with stress, as well as ease any sorrow at shedding your old ways. Excuse me. Sorry. Give your cares, worries, and concerns to us, and feel the beautiful grace of your newly purified body. So here, I've always read that a million ways. I've gotten this card as well. And it's just one of those things where sometimes I've had one too many cups of coffee and I'm really feeling irritable because it's too much caffeine, and it talks about, you know, how you cope with stress. It's saying maybe you eat when you're stressed, or drink more coffee, maybe you indulge in, you know, more than one cup of wine. So here it's just telling you that it might be beneficial to cleanse a little bit. It's not hard to do. I know I've done it myself, and believe me, I know that first day is a bear, but if you go 2 to 3 days without your you know, either that or you just kind of wean back, like, you know, I go from a grande, you know, a venti espresso to maybe, you know, half calf, and then, you know, really just kind of taper it down until it's really not you know, so much. And I think that they're telling you that, and honestly, with the Nine of Cups, it is kind of saying, okay, if you are indulging in something, you may want to cut back, or at least just let your body kind of catch up. You know, it also means get enough sleep. But let's go ahead and see, what is your self-care card? Oh, you got water. Oh, this, look at this, you guys. I love synchronicities. Look at this. Okay, you got Cleanse and Detoxify, and look at your Nine of Cups. And remember how we said he has all those cups? You see how it looks like water cascading out? Well, there you go. That can be another thing. You know, again, it doesn't have to be real tough. Maybe you just go for more walks or drink more water. Make sure you're hydrated. You know, make sure you're hydrated. So, all right, pile number 2, that's your week. I really enjoyed that. And definitely, you know, look for your tribe. They're there. They're there. And drink water. All right, so pile number 3, last pile of the day. You got the Dalmatian Jasper, which I love this. I like spots, clearly, right? Got a spotted tablecloth. I got spots on my stones. Pile number 3. What kind of week is pile number 3 gonna have? Make sure we're in focus. Now we're recording. Pile number 3. What kind of week are you gonna have? Ooh, okay. Do not be afraid. There's no bad cards in tarot. Pile number 3. What kind of week are you gonna have? Oh, you got the star. You got a card behind it. Okay, we'll leave that as a surprise, but we're gonna use that to clarify. Okay, just for the record, you got the most beautiful star that I've ever seen. I love this deck. I love the star in this deck. Okay, I wish this was a bigger deck. It's a mini deck, but if it was 5 by 7, I'd buy it. Okay, end of the week. Oh. Pile number 3. Boom, boom, boom. Major Arcana. Ah, gosh. All right. Let's get your animal card. Major Arcana, people. Pile number 3. What is their animal oracle for the week? What message do we have? Ooh, all right. Okay. Got Turkey Spirit. I'm thinking about pulling out this guy for Thanksgiving, and goodness knows, the end of this week is November. When did November get here, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, that's actually a really beautiful card. I know there's lots of beautiful other animals, and, you know, turkey doesn't feel like the greatest, but at least you haven't gotten vulture. I've gotten vulture before, and that's actually also a very good card. It just doesn't feel like it. So pile. Okay, I'm gonna take this because it was really. Anything else? Any other cards? I always feel bad. I feel like I get one card for pile number 1, and then I end up doing 2 cards for every other deck, and I'm like, it's like I'm not warmed up or something. I'm like, the pile number 1 people are gonna come after me, right? Please don't come after me. I'm sorry. You know what? Next reading we will do something fun for pile number 1. We'll do like an icebreaker that's just for you. It'll be special. So pile number 3. What is their self-care? What can pile number 3 do for themselves? Okay, that was at an angle and it was poking me in the thumb. Okay, that's kind of sliding all around. I'm just gonna look at it. Well, Libra indecision, sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Pile, oh wow. Okay, pile number 3. Now, the beginning of your week is now, and again, there are no bad cards in tarot. It's actually quite a pretty card. It's not as bad. I've seen some pretty scary devils. But the beginning of the week, you got the devil. And the one thing about the devil is you always see in every single devil card, there's the lovers. It's the two, the man and the woman. And then you always got this real spooky looking, you know, and what it is it means being subject to something. Like it means that you really are entrapped. You are trapped by something. And what it is the devil makes us, and you see there's even a spider web. You see in the background, they're trapped in a spider web, and he's just looking on like, I got you. And what it is anytime you see the devil, you want to look at the spider web and say, what is that spider web made of? What is that spider web that has me trapped? Is it fear? Because the devil rules fear. Is it fear of not having enough money? Is it jealousy? Is it, petty thoughts about other people? Usually it's the heavy hitters. Like it can mean addiction. It can mean, feeling, like you're trapped with something or someone. Something has you stuck. And a lot of times it really does mean fear. Most of the time we stay in our bad habits because of fear of something. If we're addicted to something, it's because we're stressed out. Life stresses us out and we lean on something as a crutch. But what it is the devil is definitely kind of a codependent card. It's like, and what I like, and later when we get into this with the How to Tarot, what I like about the devil is that the two characters in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, he has chains around their necks, and the chains follow up to the pedestal that the devil's sitting on. But the chains around Adam and Eve, or the two lovers, the chains around their neck is very loose. It's like a lariat. It's huge. They could at any time they can just take the chain off. They can take the chain over their head and just drop it on the ground and walk away. And so the beginning of the week, you're gonna feel like you are gonna feel really. There's going to be some situation that's got you feeling trapped or feeling like you can't do, and it's a really rough feeling when it's the devil, because pile number 1 got the 8 of Swords, and it's funny, the 8 of Swords makes you feel trapped too, but not the way that the devil does. The devil is kind of the rock bottom, like I can't do anything else, I have to always do this. And you don't have to always do anything. You have free will, right? And that's what this card is meant to make you question. There are no bad cards in tarot. This is what it's meant to make you question. What is it that's making you feel like this, okay? It's like life is too short to ever feel this, right? And if whatever this guy is and whatever that spider web is made of, it's going to be kind of bringing you down at the beginning of your week. And I know this is the weekly reading, but you got all major arcana, so you got kind of a heavy energy. Now, by the middle of the week, so you're going to feel a little stuck, and you're going to feel like you can't get out, like you're codependent on something, and you're not going to like it. And so by the middle of the week, and again, by the middle of the week, you got the 4 of Wands. And look at that, it looks like a spider web too. Oh, guys, I love synchronicities. Look at that. it looks like a, like a, wow. But you got the Four of Wands, and then in front of it you got the star, and you got the most beautiful star that I've ever seen. I love it. It's like the Starbucks mermaid. It's so pretty. And then I love how she's got, again, I wish this artwork was, you have the pyramids in the background, and then you have this beautiful, it almost looks like a swirl of stars, and then you have, and there's a lot of Kabbalic symbols in this, so it almost looks like a Jewish star, but I love it, how she's pouring water, and she's just so tranquil and peaceful. But the star is hope, and it's the most gorgeous deck, and the Four of Wands usually means kind of like, the four is stability, it's like the four pillars of something, and the Four of Wands usually means some kind of, it means kind of like it usually means a celebration of a life event. It typically means marriage, and I think, you know, what might be happening is if you are in some kind of relationship, but you are dreaming of having a particular type of commitment with either a certain someone or in a certain situation, what it's kind of telling me, and the fact that you got two people over here and you got two people in the middle, I think by the beginning of the week you're going to feel like you're striving for your Four of Wands, but something is kind of keeping you down or keeping you trapped. And then, you know, your Four of Wands is your goal. It's your dream, right? It's what you want the star to bring you. And I just really feel like by the middle of the week, whatever was bringing you down in the beginning of the week, it's going to open up, and you're going to start feeling a lot better. You're going to start feeling a lot more hopeful. So there might be some kind of energy or some kind of event, maybe something, or, you know, something in your life is making you feel pinned down, making you feel obligated. Obligated, that's a good word. Something's making you feel obligated, and by the middle of the week you're going to feel a little bit freer. You're going to feel like, okay, maybe I can have this good life that I envision, not this trapped, you know, everything is the dirge, you know. I can have this, you know. And by the middle of the week you're really going to feel a lot lighter. And just remember, if you are starting to feel like down in the dumps, energy does follow thought, and anytime I see the star, it really just encourages me to, you know, stay positive. I know it's so hard, especially when things don't seem very real, you know, when realistically things seem pretty bleak. But if you just look and imagine the outcome that you want and that you're grateful for it, it really does help the universe bring it to you. So I think you start off in kind of a little bit of a rough energy, but by the middle of the week you'll be feeling a lot more inspired and hopeful. And then I'm so excited for you by the end of the week, and again you got two people again. It's like the same two, it's the same two people as the beginning of the week. By the end of the week you got the sun. You got the sun, and honestly the sun is the yes card. It's the yeah buddy card. It's the running through the fields, you know. Remember the intro to Shrek when they're, you know, playing the music, and, you know, it's kind of like you're going to feel very fulfilled. It's going to be really that dancing in the sunlight kind of happy, you know, ending. And it also means a lot of things will come to light. That's the one thing, the other interpretation that I love about the sun is that it means that everything is clear. You know, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, the sun comes out. And I just feel like, you know, sometimes the devil can make you feel like you have, like, you know, dark secrets, like things that you can't tell somebody about. But then when you actually you know, state what you want and make baby steps towards what you want, then you'd be amazed at how, you know, what a wonderful feeling, what a freeing feeling it is. But yep, so the star and the Four of Wands is right around your Halloween. So you might be doing something with your sweetheart, you know, you might be doing something, but the Four of Wands is definitely, it's also a fun card. It can represent parties. Maybe the week kind of starts off a little bleak, and then going to a Halloween party really brings, being around friends or being around people that you like really lifts your spirits. And then by the end of the week, you're just taking a whole new perspective. You just don't feel like you get hope. Now and here you go. This plays into Turkey too. Give with gratitude and grace. So what that tells me is that, again, I just think that it's kind of like when you're grateful for what you have, the universe will bring you more. But I really just think that, I think that it is, just letting you know that you do not have to remain under anything, really analyze what you're afraid of. I would say really look at that spider web and say, what is it that spider web's doing? And then it is kind of encouraging you to give. It is kind of saying, this week, be kind of generous, and that doesn't have to be with money. Be generous with your time, be generous with your words. One happiness book that I read always said, check in with somebody. That makes people happy. Ask somebody about themselves. If you see someone wearing a cool jacket, be like, wow, I really like that jacket. Where did you get that? And that's just being generous with your words, and that's being generous with your time and your attention. So I think that's telling you that will also make you feel a little less under the devil energy there, and it'll kind of pull you towards the sun. Now, your two oracle cards, and these both wanted to pop out, is Blessing in Disguise and What Do You Desire? Ooh, and nothing talks about desire more than the devil, right? Blessing in Disguise is what appears to be a problem is actually part of an answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. And again, it's the same two characters, right? Something that's going on that's making you feel might be a blessing. It might be the right thing for you, but it doesn't seem like it at the time. Now, the other thing is, what do you desire? You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. So again, and also being 3 arcana, if there's something that you want, but you feel like it can't happen, really just focus on what you want. Again, energy follows thought. Wish upon that star, wish upon that star. Imagine what you want. And again, look at this. You got the 4 of Wands. If you want a healthy relationship with someone, imagine a healthy relationship. And also just look at it. If you've been trying really hard at something and it's just not working, maybe that's a blessing. Maybe that was meant to happen because something else is better. But this is just a weekly energy. But I would just say that, focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. And try not to let the fear creep in, because I really do think that the universe is trying to bring you something good. It's trying to bring you something good. It's not trying to make you feel trapped. And there's a lot of hope, and there's a lot of, by the end of the week, you're going to be feeling like you're on top of the world. Okay, pile number 3. And then it says, you got your card. Oh, I love this card. You got nature. And what that is it's just saying that you would want to get out in nature. That would be a fun care activity. I love the fact they're running through a meadow. It's like, and again, I always say, nature doesn't have to be driving to a lake, and you can even see she's kind of walking through a field of flowers too. I love it. It's beautiful. It's a nice image. But it can be a patch of grass. I always say that, if it's a busy week and you really can't, go anywhere, fancy, just admire a nice, little corner of nature. If you see a little, flower bed, or just kind of stop and admire it, just kind of meditate for a minute, and that's experiencing nature, right? It just, I do love watching the ducks, and I love watching the birds, and a lot of them are flying south for the winter now, but yeah, they're telling me that would really brighten your mood, and by the time that you get to the end of the week, it looks like you'll have some nature to be running through, probably with someone else. So okay, pile number 3. Well, I hope you have a good week. And So definitely, again, I do have another video up today if anybody wants to watch it. It's Who's Haunting You? And I had a great time filming it. It was a lot of fun, and it was truly. It's funny. I thought, you know, I was using some kind of serious cards. I was using some messages cards because again, it's your energy that I'm focusing on, but I'm talking about someone else that is on your mind, and I was using Divine Masculine message cards, and I was using Twin Flame message cards, and I thought for sure that it would get kind of serious, and it did. It had moments of levity, but towards the end, the last pile, I think it was pile 4, I really had a good chuckle. And one of the cards just cracked me up, and it was fun. It was still serious, but it was great. So if you get a chance, if you want to watch that video, that is up now. That is posted today with your energy video. And again, when you're over on that video, if you want to enter to win the bag, just leave a comment. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just say, you know, hey, hi, you know, thumbs up, you know, emoji. Then I will enter your name in and we'll draw a winner. But okay, so I hope all is good, and then definitely feel free to join me for the How to Tarot on Tuesday. That is coming up as well, and then I'll see you in the next video. Bye.